Now to the pandemic. Health Canada has approved the antiviral drug remdesivir to treat patients with severe symptoms of COVID-19. It's the first drug to be approved for that use in Canada. Remdesivir will only be given to patients over the age of 12 who have severe pneumonia symptoms and need oxygen to breathe. The drug is administered intravenously and patients are closely monitored. Several countries, including the United States, have already conditionally approved remdesivir. Access to the drug could be difficult, though. The U.S. government has purchased nearly the entire global supply. Canada's chief public health officer said today this country is in discussions to access that limited supply. Dr. Theresa Tam also shared her concerns about what she calls the worrisome trend of Canada's COVID-19 curve ticking up.
If we overtax the public health resources and lose this ability to effectively test and trace, well, let's not go there.
Tam is again encouraging Canadians to limit their number of social interactions and to continue practicing physical distancing and proper hygiene. Wearing a mask is strongly recommended as another way to reduce the spread of the virus, and many jurisdictions are making them mandatory in public indoor spaces. The town of Banff is going a step further. It's just voted to make masks mandatory outdoors in the downtown core, which gets very crowded with tourists even in the middle of a pandemic. Heather Yourex-West reports.
Nestled in the breathtaking Rocky Mountains, Banff National Park is a treasured tourist destination, and not even a pandemic is keeping visitors away. It's a concern that has prompted Town Council to adopt an unusual new bylaw. Effective Friday, with a few exemptions, most visitors will have to wear a mask, not just indoors, but in some outdoor areas too.
We believe at this point that we're the only municipality in Canada, and I don't know beyond that, that has put a mandatory mask bylaw in place in an outdoor space.
Ma'am, can I get you a free mask?
Outdoors, masks will only be required in the town's downtown pedestrian zone, an area that has already been closed to vehicle traffic to allow for physical distancing.
We do have some retailers where there tends to be some lineups. We have some very popular retailers, and just even when people are going in and out of stores, it can get quite crowded and squishy.
By simply creating this entire zone where people are going from door to door, continually entering and leaving indoor spaces that would require a mask, it's far simpler and far safer to not have those people frequently adjusting and removing their masks and then putting a new one back on.
Banff isn't the only popular tourist destination dealing with big crowds. This video was taken earlier this month in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Days later, the region announced a mandatory mask bylaw for indoor spaces, while outdoors, staff have been hired to educate visitors on the need to maintain space. And at Vancouver's Third Beach, where a large crowd gathered for a drum circle last week, there is a new reminder from BC's provincial health officer to behave.
There's some very stern posters of me that have been put up to dissuade people from congregating in large groups, so maybe that'll be effective too.
There you are, buddy.
Measures taken to allow summer fun to continue, even under the persistent threat of COVID-19. Heather Yourex-West, Global News, Calgary.